Couple up here, but not many. Yeah, they emailed them out. Here's one you can share with. I know you said you and your wife are gonna share. And it's a lot of the phone stuff is what you already have, so you'll know the basic stuff. It'll just be probably little special things that you're going to want to make little notes on. Here's a voicemail, one that you and her can share. Do what? No, we're good. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. So if I could have everybody's attention, we're going to go ahead and get started because I have 5 classes today and they're like boom, boom, boom right behind each other. So we're going to roll. Since we've got these 2 chairs left, there'll be a couple more people probably coming in. We had about 11 people, I think, sign up for class. So my name's Tina and I'm with Frontier. We are putting in the new phone system and voicemail for you. We're supposed to cut everything over on Monday afternoon. So those of you, who in here has phones already on their desk, the new phones that are up and working? Excellent. When you go back to your desk after class, set up your voicemail box, and then I'll show you today how to do, come on in, you can have a seat up here. I'll show you how to do speed calling, that type of stuff. Get those set up. Try to get them done today because we're going to cut over Monday evening around 4:30 to 5. So when you come in Tuesday morning, you want that phone already set up and you don't want to have to wait over the weekend where you forget stuff you learned in class. So, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to go through first just the basic phone outline and then we'll get into some of the programming. So you currently have a Mitel system now. So a lot of the transferring, conferencing, putting somebody on hold, that's pretty much the same as what it is now. So, okay, look at your phones for me. And on the right-hand side, above the keypad, you've got 2 rows of keys. Those of you that have Mitel phones now on your desk, there's a seat right here and one back there. Those of you that have Mitel phones right now on your desk, you have these same keys, but they have verbiage on them. They say transfer and hold and all that. If you look at the new phone, they just have pictures. Everything's pictures now. So but the keys are the same. Like on your current phone, what is the red key? What's your red key now? It's your whole key. Still the same thing. It's the whole key. So if you need to put somebody on hold, you're going to hit the key. It's going to put them on hold. Yeah.
I've never used hold on campus.
Really?
Never, ever. Never transferred anybody.
Oh, well, you'll get to learn that today. So, yeah. Look, she's like, how could that be?
I cannot have a speakerphone even. It's a very simple phone. But I can dial anywhere in the world.
Well, with the hold key, you're just going to put them on hold, and the line that they rang in on is going to blink. Now, look over at your big display. Go down to the bottom. You should see an appearance of your extension of that, we've assigned that phone, and right above it, it says second line.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right down at the bottom. It says second line. That's just a second appearance of that same extension. That's all it is. That's so that you can have more than one phone call if you need to. Say you're talking to me on the phone, another person calls you. What's going to happen is it's going to ring on that second line, but only for one ring. It just does it to get your attention. Then after that, the caller's going to still hear ringing, but on your end, the light's just going to blink. So when you see that caller ID pop up there for that second call, if it's somebody you've been waiting on, you can toggle over, talk to them for a few minutes, then go back to the first line.
So it's not going to automatically go to voicemail?
No. It is going to give you what they call a burst ring. Now, normally you would think, if I need to put somebody on hold to answer that second line, I'm going to hit the red hold key. But you don't have to do that. With the new system, if you're already talking on one line and another call comes in, all you got to do is just hit that second line and it throws the first one on hold for you.
Just make sure you have the right line pushing your copy of who you think you're talking.
Well, when you push that second line, you'll hear, it should be, like I said, it should be blinking. When you're talking to somebody on the phone, the light's solid. When you've got them on hold or it's ringing in, it's blinking. So, and you can toggle back and forth between the two.
So I was just pushing how
do I push the second line? I have never done this.
Yeah, well, you won't do it right now. It would
No,
only
but
work
I mean,
like when
it
a call's
means
coming in.
basically you push these buttons.
Mhm.
See, it's very basic.
Now, with the second line, on your phones when they're put out, that's probably what they're going to say. It's just what it says here. It's probably going to say second line. They, I think, originally programmed them with just a second appearance of your extension, but they figured it'd be easier for you just because some people have so many numbers on their
I
phones.
think ours has ours. Mine's 3108.
Does it?
I think so.
I have a question, because, okay, sometimes I will have one where I have somebody on my line, but I need to call, I don't want to transfer them, I just need to call. Can I use the second line? Would that put them on hold so I can make a call with
Yeah.
them?
What you'd have to do is, if it's not a secondary call ringing in, you're going to have to hit the red hold key.
Okay.
Then you could hit that second line. But if you're just trying to check with the person before you transfer it to them,
Or I just have a simple question to call.
then what
the
you can
housing
do,
department.
you don't even have to grab the second line. All you have to do, if you think you might transfer them to that person, you hit your transfer key. When you call me, if you've got somebody else on the phone, when you're talking to me, until you hang that handset up, the caller doesn't hear anything. So you can ask me any questions you need to do. Then when you finish with me, you hit the cancel key, and that dumps them and takes you back to the caller. You didn't have to put them on hold. That way, if you were going to transfer, you could just hang up, call goes through. If they say, okay, yeah, put her through, you could hang up, call's going to go through. And we'll do that in class. We'll do putting some people on hold, doing a little transferring, which I know you were saying you don't transfer. The rest of you do some transferring, don't you? You don't transfer much either?
Yeah, that's faculty.
You would just do it like if somebody got transferred to you by accident. Then you'd probably have to send them somewhere else. So, yeah, because I think a lot of the faculty, when we went around, you had like analog phones. You didn't have the Mitel current phone. Well, now most everybody's going to have these Mitel phones now. So you'll be able to program speed dials, things like that on them. So, okay. Beside the hold key, there's a key with two pictures on it. It's an arrow, and then that's supposed to be three people's heads, but I've always thought it looks like a little girl with pigtails. Yeah, see? I'm not the only one. Yeah, that's your transfer key, and it's also your conference key. Now, the difference between the conference that you have now and this one, your current system, you can only conference up to 5 people. This one, you can have up to 8 people on a conference call. And they can be inside or outside the facility, doesn't matter. Just one thing you do need to know is with the new system, if you want to get an outside line, you dial 7 for outside access now. It's very important to do that. So 7 for outside access. So if you're conferencing, oh, okay. I had been told they changed that. So the conferencing, if you're going to add somebody in from outside, once you hit that transfer conference key, you're going to press 7 if it's an outside person, then dial their whole number. If it's an inside person, you're just going to dial the 4-digit extension. And we'll do that in here too. Now, with your transferring, your basic transfers are a blind transfer, which probably a lot of you do. That's where I don't care if you answer the phone or not. I just need to pass the call to you, and I'm fine with voicemail picking it up if you don't answer. All I would do then is hit the transfer key, dial your 4-digit extension, hang up the phone. If I need to talk to you first, then that's what we call a supervised transfer. And that's where I hit transfer, dial your number, I wait for you to answer the phone, tell you a little bit about the caller, then I hang up and the call follows through. So that's why I was saying earlier, you just got to ask a question or you want to make sure they want the call, don't worry with putting them on hold, just hit the transfer key, dial their number, and then if they say, yeah, I can take them, then hang up, call's gone through. And it's going to save you some steps of having to come back, get them off a hold, that kind of thing. Okay. So look above the transfer key. See the one with the circle and the X? That is the key you probably will use when conferencing and possibly sometimes with transferring. That's your cancel key. It cancels the last thing you tried to do with that caller. So say I'm setting up a conference and it wasn't a scheduled conference. You see this a lot nowadays with cell phones. You'll call somebody for a conference call, I get their cell phone voicemail. Well, if I've already got 3 people in my conference, I don't want to pull their voicemail into my conference. So to get rid of that person's voicemail, I just hit my cancel key. If I had misdialed the number and I'm like, oh gosh, that's the wrong number, I could hit cancel, takes me back to the people I already had in the conference. Same thing with transferring. Once I hit the transfer key, if I call you and maybe the person you're transferring, they're pretty upset, you know they don't want voicemail, and the person you're trying to transfer to, their voicemail kicks in, to get rid of that, just hit cancel. It takes you back to your caller. So just remember, once you hit that cancel, the caller's right there on the phone. They can hear you. So don't be, talking about the person that you just tried to get, or this lady's so angry, just once you hit cancel, boom, they're on the phone. So, okay, we're going to do a little transferring, putting people on hold, and then we're going to set up a conference. So I'm going to get you to lift your handset for me, and I want you to dial 8904. So you guys answer back there. So now I'm going to have you transfer her. So hit your transfer key and dial 8906. Dial 8906. So you guys answer. So now you can tell them a little bit about the person, and then you hang up and the call should be transferred. Now, that's a supervised. So you guys should be connected. Can you talk? Okay, so now you're going to do a blind transfer. So hit your transfer conference key, and you're going to dial 8905 and then just hang up. So now you guys should be connected. All right, so now I want you two to stay on the phone, but I'm going to have you lift your handset and call 8905. I want you to see that second line ring in we talked about. Hear the one ring? Now, it's not ringing anymore, but it's still blinking, isn't it? So to get the call, hit the blinking button, and now you're on hold. And I'm going to just turn this around so people back here see how that's the person that she was talking to.
So now I'm blinking.
Yeah, so if I want to switch, I just hit that key. Now they're back again.
Yeah, but ours isn't blinking. Mine says green.
Right, so now you guys are connected again, and she's on hold.
Was I blinking when you switched over to your second line? Can you switch over to your second line again? Well, it's not blinking, it's solid. So it's just me holding.
Right, it's her. Hers are going to be the ones that are blinking because she's the one that's controlling the call. So now who are you connected to right now?
I kind of like the whole function, actually.
Okay, so now you've got two people on the phone, so you're going to hang up. I'm going to have you hang up. Now you should be able to go back. There you go. And you guys are connected now? There you go. So now we're going to turn this into a conference call. So to do that, same key, hit your transfer conference. And I want you to dial 8906. You guys answer. So now to pull everybody together, you hit your transfer conference a second time.
So I don't have to hit it, she's on.
She's the one that's doing it. So now you guys should all be able to hear each other. Now look at your screen. What does your screen say at the top? And it says three-party conference. You want to add another person? Start the steps again. Hit your transfer conference. Yes, you can. She's doing this one, 8902. So you answer. So hit your transfer conference. Everybody together? All right, so now if you wanted to add the next person, hit your transfer conference. You would dial 8903. So you guys just lift the handset. So now to pull him in, hit your transfer conference again.
Yes.
Now, what I'm going to have you do on this one is you're going to go ahead and try to add her in, but I'm going to have you decide that, you misdialed. So hit transfer conference 8901. And then you guys, I don't want you guys to answer. So now hit your cancel key. And now you guys should all be back to your conference, are you? Good. All right, you can hang up. So one of the other things with the conference is you started the conference, but you could have hung up at any time and everybody would have still stayed on the phone. And as people hang up, the number in the top of your screen is going to start going down. So you know every time somebody hangs up, you know somebody's dropped off the conference. You just don't know who. So.
Is that still the case if you're calling people that are not on our system?
Yeah, once they're on, you see, like if you were trying to bring in two people, say from outside, your number is going to still change because they're part of the conference. If one of them drops off, your number is going to drop down.
But if I drop off, are those people still conference?
No.
If they don't have their own?
No, you'll drop off. If you drop off, you will get rid of them. Yeah.
The inside would be on.
Yes.
The outside would not.
Yeah. Okay. Right beside the transfer conference key is the envelope button. The envelope button is going to be your indicator that you have a voice message. So if you get voicemail, that button's going to be lit up. Now, I'm not going to have you press it now, but that is how you get into voicemail too. You'll hit that key and it will get you to put in your passcode to get into your voice messages. That key also is the transfer directly to voicemail key. So if you had somebody on the phone, maybe, say I had a call for Andy, and I know Andy's not in his office right now. I just saw him walk by. Rather than ring his phone and let it ring 7 times, then I could just transfer the caller right into his voicemail without ever ringing his phone. Yeah, it's good if you have people in meetings, that kind of stuff. All you do, you don't have to hit the transfer key or anything. All you do, you have the caller on the phone, you hit the envelope button, and then dial the 4-digit extension of the person you want to transfer them to and hang up. Call goes right through.
So
Now,
push that instead of the transfer.
you push that instead of the transfer key, yeah. And what's going to happen, you're not going to hear anything. There's no command saying enter the mailbox number or transferring now. It's just complete silence. But you'll know you did it right if as soon as you hit that button, when you put in the 4-digit extension, it disconnects you from the call and the caller gets dumped right into the voicemail box of that person. In fact, I'm going to put your phone on speaker a minute just so that we can hear that. I'm going to use this one. That's 8902. So I'm going to take here and I'm going to transfer this person directly into the mailbox. Yes, see here the little envelope 3817.
Hi, you reached the voice message box.
Right into my mailbox.
This is the training room voicemail. Please leave a message and I'll return your call.
Did I send them or did not?
Right.
So you're telling us that's okay normal.
Yes, it's going to be normal. No any type of prompting you to put them in there. It's hit that button, dial the 4-digit extension, boom, they're in the mailbox. So,
Can you regulate the numbers of times it rings? For instance, you're going to go on vacation, you don't want it to ring, you said 7. It really rings however many times you put in there? I mean,
No,
do you have control
the
over
way
that?
it's set up now is most people it's 4 rings before it kicks to voicemail. If you're a person that has your cell phone twinned to your desk phone, and if you are, you would know this because you told us you wanted it. Those people, it has to be set for 7, so it gives it time to kick to the cell phone. But that's what they've got set up for everybody. Now, if you were going on vacation and you wanted it to go right in, I would put my phone in Do Not Disturb. And that would kick it right in. So the next key above the envelope key is the redial. It says 1, 2, 3 and it's got an arrow. So if you look at the top of your display, see where it's got an extension up there? That just happens to be the last number that was dialed from your phone. So as you dial numbers, that number is going to change. And we don't have any outside numbers probably on here because we haven't dialed outside. But okay. The circle with the X is what? Cancel, that's right. And have any of you used cancel before now? This is like a little poll I've been doing with every class. Have y'all, because you have it on your phone now. You guys don't use it? This is so funny. I did yesterday out of the 2 classes, there were 2 people that knew what the key was. But yeah, it is on your current phone now and it actually says cancel. So it works the same way. The blue key is, you currently have a blue key now on your phone. You call it the super key. The blue key is no longer the super key. It is the applications key. It has all of the super key functions and then some. There's only one function that it doesn't have that is on your current super key, and that is adjusting the ringer of the phone. So that would be the only time you would need a super key is if you wanted to change the type of ring that you have on your phone. And when I show you how to do a speed dial, if you can program a speed dial on your phone, you can program a super key on your phone. And I would recommend if you do sit in, say, a bullpen area where there's other people around and you want to adjust your ringer so you can tell the difference between your phone and the person beside you, program a super key on your phone just for that. Use it for that and then delete it off because you don't need any of the other features on there. They're already pre-programmed on the phone for you. So we're going to skip the blue key for right now and come back to it. We're going to go up to the top And at the very top of your phone, you've got a couple more keys up there. The up and down arrows, they adjust if the phone is in speaker mode, they adjust the volume of the speaker, they adjust the volume of the handset, what you're hearing. And then when we get into programming, like I was talking about the ringer, if you need to adjust that, it's going to raise and lower that, and it's going to change the pitch so that you can choose a ringtone. Okay. The center button up top is the speaker key. Now these phones are, since they're all speaker, you don't have to hit that key to put them in speaker mode. You can just start dialing on the keypad and it goes right into speaker mode. So somebody asked me the other day, can you answer it on speaker? Yes, you can. You just would hit the button of the ringing line, and that's going to put it automatically into speaker mode.
Before you pick it up.
Yes, before you pick it up.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you want to switch back, if you've started out and you lifted the handset and you want to go to speaker, just hit the speaker key and then put the phone down in the cradle. That way you won't hang up on the caller. The key beside the speaker key is like a really favorite key for most people. It's the mute key. So it mutes the caller out from you. So no more putting your hand over the handset or anything like that. But if it's turned on, meaning if the caller can't hear you, that light is orange. If it's not orange, they can hear everything you're saying. So don't be talking about the person on the phone unless the light's orange. So just pay attention. And there's no clicking or anything to let the caller know that it's been muted. The only way they'll really know that you've muted the call is if it was background noise, and then all of a sudden it's complete silence. So, because like in my office, I use it kind of for quick things, because it is, if it's more than a couple seconds, it's obvious to them that they're muted if there's any background noise. So, okay. Yes, you can still hear them, they just can't hear you. Like if we do a lot of conference calling in our office, and if it's lengthy conference calls, you know, I don't need to be really focused on them the whole time, so I'll just mute my phone out and go back to working until somebody says my name a couple times and grabs my attention, and then I'm back in the call. So, if it's orange, then they can't hear you. They cannot hear you. Yeah, that's true. You want to watch what you say until that light's orange, yeah. Okay, everybody look over at your display. And at the top, you've got date and time, which is always going to be there for you. The redial is going to pretty much be there. Unless a call's coming in, then it's going to show you the caller ID. The phone book. You have phone book now. Do any of you use it? No. Good for you. The phone book is a giant phone extension listing. It's got everybody's extensions for the whole campus on there, which I don't know if you know this or not, but I was asked this a couple sessions ago. They wanted to know, could you use the phone book when you had somebody on the phone? Because when you're talking to somebody, the phone book clears off the screen. But you can still get to it. Like if you needed to look a number up to transfer them, you just put the caller on hold. It brings the phone book back up in the display. You can use it, find the number, and then get the person off a hold and transfer them.
So our stuff from IC is already all in there, all the 4 digit extensions.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you go from, well, Deucer House to Zettler. I mean, from the D's to the Z's.
What you do, on your phones, all of you have a phone book key. Hit the phone book key. And then put in, I don't know, 3 letters using the keypad of your last name.
So it's by last name?
It's by last name.
Oh, okay, because the other was by first name.
Well, they have the first initial, but if you put the last name, and it's just like your cell phone. You want to get to, one of the letters, you might have to hit the key 3 times. And then you just hit look up. All right, just hit look up.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
And there you go. And then you could just hit call and it'll call it.
Okay.
To get out of the phone book, just hit the cancel key. And that dumps you out. Did everybody find yourselves? All right.
You have to like hit it like west when I type in west.
Mm-hmm.
The W is the first one on that key, but the E is the second one on the 3 key, so I gotta go 2 times.
Yes.
I mean, that's gonna take a little bit.
Well, it's just like your cell phone. So if you're used to doing stuff on your cell, you should be good.
So used to be a long my daughter, it might be one thing.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Everybody pop out a phone book, hit the cancel key to get out. I don't know if any, sorry, I've got to peep at this sheet over here. Let's see, are any of you hot desk users going to be? Yes, a couple of you are. So You all have hot desk written on your display up there. Not all of you are going to be hot desk users, but there are a couple, so you do need to know what this is. These phones in class, we've set them up specifically so that you could see it. What hot desk is, like Andy's going to be a hot desk user, where when he's not at his desk, if he's got to go to another area to work for any type of lengthy period, he can go to that person's phone, he'll hit the hot desk key, and it's going to tell him he can hit the login, and he's going to put in his 4-digit extension, and then it's going to ask him for a PIN, and he's going to put in whatever his 4-digit PIN is, which will be the same passcode that you set up for your voicemail will also be your hot desk PIN. So he's going to put that in, and then what will happen is that phone will become the phone he had over here. So any speed dials he had programmed, all of those are now on this new phone. So if you are a hot desk user, which there are a couple of you in here, Tracy, Sarah, you are, and Monica, you will be later. I don't know which ones of you. You will be later.
I'm the only one of those
So,
people.
okay, well there's 2 other people here that are supposed to be here. But with the hot desking, if you're supposed to be a hot desk user and you don't log in, your phone won't work. We have it set so it will only be able to make emergency calls out. You can't call phone to phone, you can't call off site. The reason it's set up like that is to force you to log in, because if you're not logged into that phone, then if I call you, it goes right to voicemail, because that's not your phone if you're not logged in. It's just what we call a ghost extension. It's just a bogus phone. So you must log in. If you're not traveling around, you can certainly just log in and leave yourself logged in until you actually physically know you're going to go somewhere else and log in. You don't have to like log in and log out, every day. So. Yeah. Well, you can't log in at 2 places. You can only be logged in at 1 place. You have to log out and then go there. Yeah, that's what I say. If you're not going to be, if you're just going over here for a little bit, don't worry with logging in and out, that kind of thing. But for the login, and I want to make sure I give you that. You're going to want to set your voicemail up first before you try to do the hot desking, because when it asks you for your PIN, that's going to be your passcode. So. With the login, once you log in, if you're not logged in, the phone is going to show, instead of your extension, it's going to show 8 and the last 3 digits of your extension. So that's how you'll know this is a hot desk phone that's not logged in. So I can't log you in up here, but I want to just show you real quick. All you're going to do is you're going to hit the hot desk key and see it says login. I'd hit that, and then I'd put in my extension and OK, and then the PIN, which was whatever your passcode. And when you hit OK, it becomes that phone. So
Does it change all?
yes, it'll change to whatever you have on your regular desk phone. Like Andy might have 5 speed dials over here, and the hot desk phone he goes to over there is probably not going to have anything. Once he logs in, he's got his speed dials and everything showing, and anybody that calls him, it's going to ring over there where he is. So, okay.
For people who, let's say, spend many hours in other places.
Well, it's more for people that are going to be working at a particular place for a period of time. Like you're maybe half a day you work here and half a day you work in another office. Yeah. So, okay. Below the hot desk, you see a solid line on your screen. Your current phones, any of you that have Mitel phones, you have a display that has 3 little buttons underneath of it. Those are your interactive or soft keys. That's what the top 3 keys to the left are here. Those are your interactive or soft keys. What that means is below that solid line is the only place that when we get into programming speed dials, you can only program below the solid line, not above it, because those keys are already for the programming with the soft keys. Now, what we have set up in class for you, you see where it says training 3, 2, 1. Those are just the extensions of the phones in here. Like if I lift this phone's handset, you should have a light that comes on one of your buttons, do you?
Yes.
That's what we call a DSS BLF key. And that is, the BLF stands for busy landfill. That's the light indicator that's on your phone to tell you, I'm on my phone right now. So also, if somebody called my extension, it might not ring on your phone, but if you saw my light blinking and you know I'm not at my desk, you could hit that button and answer my call too. It's also a speed dial. You need to call me, you just hit the button, it dials me. So say if you're transferring somebody and I'm somebody you've already got pre-programmed on your phone, you would just hit transfer in my button and it's going to dial the number for you, so you don't have to dial the number. Now, we've got stuff programmed here. Your phones are going to be whatever we were instructed to put on them. If we were instructed to put, everybody in your department on there, you're going to have that, everybody in your department. So when you get them, they're already going to be set up. Any blank keys will be where you can program speed dials, do not disturb keys, that kind of thing. So once we cut the system over, if you are like, well, I don't like the way my phone is set up, I want it set up like this, do a little email, but don't send it over and ask for them to fix it the day we cut or the day after we cut, because they're going to be focused on things that aren't working completely, not just customizing your phone. That's something they will do for you, but it's going to be, I would say give them about, 5 days before you hit them up and say, I don't like the way my phone is set up. They're going to be trying to focus on things that are broke and not working right now when we first cut, because it's a pretty big campus. So
Where would we send?
you would send the email to Sherry
Sherry.
if you have, something that you want adjusted. Now, if you have something that is broken the day that we cut, like say you are a person that is supposed to have hot desking, and the hot desking is just not working, then they are sending out an email. And I don't know, did Steve send that email yet out? There's an email that's been sent out that has the number or the email that you would call for assistance to get help when we actually cut. So. Oh, okay. Yeah, he's going to send one out for you guys on the where you call for if you need assistance with the cut. And like I said, this is going to be things that are broke, not something that you just don't like right now or you want to have switched later on. So, but you can still make notes of those things because that can be adjusted for you. You look a little bit further down your page. See, it says department voicemail. We've set everything up in class so that my voicemail on my phone, if I get a message in there, it will light the department voicemail on your phones, because quite a few departments do have department voicemail. So that's how it will appear on your phone. If a message is left in that department voicemail box, the button beside it will light up. You need to check the message in that department voicemail box, you hit the key, and it's going to ask for the passcode. So make sure everybody in the department knows what the passcode is that you've set up for that voicemail. Yes, yours would be personal. If you have a voice message, it's going to light that envelope key and to light the top. If it's a department one, it's going to light the key that goes with the department voicemail box. So now,
Will the red message light be on in either case?
no. For if it's department, it's just going to be the light beside the key. That's just for department, yes. And it'll be on, everybody's phones in the department so that anybody could actually check it. It won't probably be just on one person's phone unless we were instructed to just put it on one person's phone. Now, be aware, those department voicemail boxes will need to be set up. So make sure you set those up, because the generic message that's there right now that comes with the system just says the person you're trying to reach is unavailable. They don't know what department they've gotten or anything. And it'll let people leave a message in it, but once the light is blinking, if you hit it to try to go in and get the messages, it won't let you get them until you set the box up. It will not let you bypass the tutorial. So I would suggest, if you already know, you go back and look at your phone and you see you've got a department voicemail button. Sherry was saying that it should be whatever your voicemail box now is for your department. That would be the 4-digit extension. Go into voicemail and get that thing set up today so it's already done.
Can you
Yes.
change? Sorry. Can you change the department voicemail regularly?
Yeah, it's set up to get into it and out of it just like your personal one. You can go in and change that greeting whenever you want to. Yeah. So if you know, yes, you sure can. Mm-hmm.
Use that for the staff opening conference, where we're going to close our offices, and we all can put that on our department voicemail. That our offices are closed today for the opening conference. It's for staff. But,
Yes.
that way you guys would know, faculty would know that we're not on campus. Well, we're on campus, but we're not in our offices conducting business. We're out doing,
I think it applies to you more than faculty.
staff.
Sherry, are any of these people dynamic extension users? Oh, I thought this was the hot desk people. Well, I could just cover it with them. Because I know not a lot of people have that. Okay, so I don't have to mess with that. Okay.
Is this cell phone thing?
No, this is something else. Okay, cool. Okay. All right. Then if you look down the phone, I want you to go all the way to the bottom and see the silver arrows. Hit the one to the right one time. And that gives you a page 2. So you have a page 2 that you can program speed dials or whatever. Hit it one more time, and you've got a page 3. So you have a lot of pages that you can program stuff if you need to. Hit it one more time, and it takes you to the front. Now, we're going to get ready to go into the blue key. I want you to pay attention when we are in that blue key of what the bottom of the screen says. Like when we're in there and we're doing programming a speed dial. At the very bottom of some of the pages, it might say 1 of 2 or 1 of 6. That means there's like 6 pages of things there. So the reason I'm bringing your attention to this is because this is usually later on when people kind of get frustrated because they've been messing with the new phone, just kind of going through it, looking at stuff, and not really paying attention to when they hit a key, what happens to the bottom of the screen. Then when they pull out their little notes and try to program something, it doesn't match because instead of being on page 1 of 6, they're on page 3 of 6. So you can go in and mess around with anything. Just when you go in there and you've done what you need to do, you're going to see the word close up on that screen. Always close out. Always hit that close button to back completely out. If you don't, then what happens is if you just pick up the handset and hang it up, then it keeps it there. So the next time you go in and you go into settings, it's going to take you right back to where you were. So if you're not trying to, go to that same spot, you're going to be lost on where to go to. So always close out to get out of everything. Now, those of you that brought little cheat sheets, grab that phone cheat sheet, and on the right-hand side, it talks about programming a speed call. So the notes are pretty darn close to what they should be. So we're going to I'm going to walk you through setting up a speed dial. And you can see, kind of how to do it with your notes. So the handset stays in the cradle. Press your blue applications key. Once you do that, you have quite a few things that pop up there. You're going to go into settings. Hit the settings button. And then your screen says, do you have the words programmable keys up there? So hit that because we're trying to program a key. And then if you look at the very top, it tells you to choose a key to edit or program. So that's where it wants you to choose a blank key. Well, you probably don't have a blank key on your first page, so hit the silver arrow to go to page 2. That's probably because from what we did at an earlier class yesterday. So hit a blank key. Now, you see at the top it says speed call. Well, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to do speed call. But before you hit speed call, look at the bottom. See it says 1 of 6? This is where I was saying it's 6 pages of stuff there. So you could easily get on the wrong page and not realize where you are. So hit speed call. Now once you do that, it's going to give you up at the top the option to start doing this. So if you look up on your screen, it says edit info, and that's what you want to do. So hit your edit info key, and it's going to pop up for you it's going to put the cursor by the label. The label is what the name is you want to appear on the screen. It should have also brought up the alphabet, did it? Yes, it did. Now it brings it up in lowercase. If you are a person that likes uppercase, then go towards the bottom and see the key that says next page. Hit that, it's going to take you to uppercase. And you can go back and forth between the two. So I want everybody to put my name in their phone. Put Tina in there. So to get to the T, you're going to hit the key on the left-hand side 3 times to get that cursor over to the T. Where are you?
I don't know. Let's take one of
All right, now you got to hit your blue key.
Oh, I see that one.
Settings. All right, you were close. All right, so hit edit info. There you go. There's your label. So to put the T in there, T.
Okay.
I. So then do N and A. Now once you get my name in there, then you're going to hit edit number because you got to put a number in, right?
How did we accidentally do a space?
If you left it beside see the blank space in front of the A, that is to put a space there. So just use your backspace at the top and that'll take it out. If you leave that cursor there too long, it's going to put a space in. That's for like last names, that type of thing. The number that I want you to put in is, not you guys, but all of you back there, 8902. You guys put in 8905.
Oh, I got a space in here. I'm sorry. What did you say?
That's okay. You just do your backspace to get rid of it. You just left it right there too
Yeah.
long. That's
Oh,
all. Yeah.
So there. Okay.
And now hit edit number and put in 8902 using your keypad. And then once you get the number in, you're going to hit OK, and then you're going to hit save, and you should get a little hourglass. You get the hourglass, you did it correctly.
How do I get the cursor down to the number?
All right. Well, we're going to backspace. You hit edit number.
Edit number.
And then just
Oh,
put
I
the
see.
number in,
Yeah, yeah,
8902.
okay.
And then you click OK, and then save. Now, once you've hit the save, look at your screen. At the top, it's asking you if you want to do another button, isn't it? Which we're not going to do another button right now, but if you have, 10 numbers, do them all at one time. That way you don't have to hit blue key, settings, programmable. It cuts out some steps for you. So you see the word close? We're going to close out and keep closing until we're back to the main screen. That way when you go in, you're going to be where you should be. Now, does everybody have my name programmed on their key? Okay, so I'm going to get a couple of you to hit your key. There we go. Hit your key over there. Did you hit your key?
I probably put in the wrong number.
That's okay.
8901.
Hit your key that has my name on it. There you go. All right, so you guys? All right, did you guys get it? Hit the key. Good, all right. Excellent. Now, your notes don't tell you how to get rid of that key, but you only have so many keys. These are important keys, and as I told the class yesterday, I might not be button worthy tomorrow, but I am today. So if you want to get rid of me off your phone, because once this afternoon comes, I'm flying out of here, so you don't want me on your phone. So there you go. You got to get rid of them. To get rid of it, you go in the same way you programmed it. You hit the blue key, hit settings, hit programmable key, and then when it asks you to pick a key to edit or program, push the one that has my name on it, and then hit clear key. And then close out. You got it? There we go. Yeah, and just close out all the way out. Now, while you were in there, remember when I had you see that 1 of 6? There were 6 pages of things. That is where the do not disturb is. So if you wanted to program a do not disturb on your phone so that when you're going to be gone on vacation, you just want all your calls going right to voicemail, you don't want your phone to ring, you can program a do not disturb. You do it the same way we just did. The only difference is where you had to key in my name and key in the number, you don't have to do that. When you get there, instead of choosing speed call, you would page over till you find the page that has do not disturb on it, and then when you hit the button, it shows you the label at the top, and all you gotta do is hit save. And it labels the key for you. I would recommend, if at all possible, on your phone, if you are going to do a do not disturb key, I would recommend you try to put it on your front page if you have any blank keys. Reason for that is because if you put it in do not disturb, you're going to hit the button that says do not disturb, and there's going to be a little light beside it. The only other indicator on the phone that it's in do not disturb, there's a circle at the top with a line through it, and it does actually take your extension, I think, and light it up for you. But most people, that red light is kind of what you need to remind you, hey, my phone's not ringing because I have it in do not disturb. If you have it on like your second or third page, you're not going to see the light indicator, so it might take you a little bit to remember that your phone's in do not disturb. You can still forward that. Sure can, yeah. And I'll show you how to do that.
But usually when we go on vacation, we tell people when we're going to be back, and I don't see what is in that.
In your voicemail, you would change that. You would do that in your voicemail, and you should do that. You should do that. You should always give people, I know we're not to the voicemail part yet, we're going to do that at the end, but you should always in voicemail, if you know you're not available for a period of time, give people the name of someone else they can talk to, because a main receptionist might not know who's supposed to fill in for you. So always try to give them the name of who they should ask for if they transfer somewhere else. It's just going to make the call smoother, make people happier. So.
On that do not disturb, you could program in a date to begin and end it.
Yeah.
Time, like your automatic replies on
Yeah, no, doesn't do that. It's a manual on off, on off. The other thing that's under there, one of those 1 of 6 things I was telling you about, that's where that super key is. So if you do want to change your ringer, that's where you're going to go. You're going to go in there, and instead of pressing speed call, super key's like on the 5th page over. You'll go there, you'll program a super key, and then you'll have the ability to use the super key to change your ringer, that type of stuff. So,
Where do you see the 6 pages? Because I've never seen them.
when you went in here, like once you did settings, programmable key, you hit a blank key. Here, see 1 of 6.
One. Okay. All right. So it's many
Yeah.
steps away. Okay.
So, yeah, it's only when you're in there trying to program that you'll see it. So, okay, everybody hit your blue applications key again. On that front page, see where it says call history? Do any of you have a light beside that? Okay, you do. Good. You've missed a call then earlier. My phone up here does. See the lights lit beside call history? That means I missed a call that, and I wasn't at my desk. I just chose not to answer, whatever. The call history key, everybody hit your call history key. And it usually is set, unless somebody's changed it in one of the earlier classes, the default is missed calls. And it's going to show you a list of calls that you missed below that solid line. But if you look at your screen, you can see that you also can look at made calls or answer calls. It holds about 20 calls in each slot before it starts deleting from the oldest. So if you wanted to, say it's got a name up there, if somebody you missed the call, just hit the key below the solid line and it's going to give you detailed information. It's going to tell you who it was that called, how many times they called, and when they called. And you can dial them back from right in there if you need to. So we're going to go into, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about UCA a little bit later on. That actually gives you even more detailed information. So, but on the phone, you have about 20 in each spot. So to get out of that, you're going to hit close.
Once you go into that, then on the main screen, it won't show that, on that screen.
That light, if you had the light lit originally, once you go in and start checking, you can go into it and it doesn't turn the light off, but once you start checking them.
That's how it goes.
Yeah, which actually, one of the things I told the earlier class is at my office, a lot of people don't leave voice messages because they know we have call history. So outside people tend to leave messages, but very rarely do I have internal company people that leave messages. They figure I'm going to check my call history. And I do. When I come back, if the light is lit, I check it. If it's somebody I've been trying to track down, I immediately try to get them. If it's somebody I don't want to talk to, I just ignore it. But I would tell you, everybody does that. You know you do. So I would tell you, though, if you're a person that's going to use it, go in there when the light's lit and you come back to your desk, look at everything, delete the things you don't need, because that way, the next time you leave your desk and come back, if the light's lit, it's something new. You know to go in and check, and you're not wondering, was this from 8 o'clock this morning, or is this from 12 o'clock this afternoon? So that's also a key that is under the, remember the pages 1 of 6? You could take and program a call history button on your phone so you don't have to go into applications to see the light. If you have the space, feel free to do so. I have the same system at our office. I have a call history key programmed to my front page because I do go to a lot of meetings and that light's on all the time because, like I said, people don't leave voicemail all the time. Now hit your blue key again to go back into applications.
Delete it first, delete log.
You can delete the whole log if you want to, yeah, it's up to you. But you were asking about forwarding your extension to somebody else's. Now, yesterday I was the only person that could do that because he hadn't programmed these phones to do it yet, but I'll let you try. You hit the call forwarding button, and then if you wanted to forward the phone, all you're going to do is put in the extension, like everybody put in, you guys, if it'll work for you, all of you in the back put in 8902, and it takes it automatically. You guys up front put in 8905. Hey, okay, so he fixed that. Now, once you did that, look at the front of your phone. What's different about the front of your phone?
Everything's blinking.
Yeah, that's because other people have their phones forwarded. That's what's going to happen. If you have DSS BLF keys on your phone of someone else, if they forward their phone or put it in Do Not Disturb, their light's going to blink to let you know you're not going to get them if you call them because they've done something else. Now, what about your extension at the bottom of your phone? What's it? What color is it? There you go. It shows. Did you activate it?
Yeah, it shows I got the little guy up here.
Okay.
My 8904 is
Oh, you're not on page 1. There you go.
We got Christmas going
There you go. Your extension is going to be green because it's busy. And everybody, if somebody else in your department has the same thing done, theirs is going to be red on your phone. So to turn it off, all you do is go back into the blue key, hit call forwarding, and hit deactivate. It's very easy to turn on and off. So if it's call forwarded, it's going to follow to wherever it says. So very easy to do that. Is everybody good? Everybody unforwarded their phones? Okay, let's go back into the blue key. And I want you to go back into settings. And the last thing I'm going to show you in the settings is, well, two things. I'll just tell you about one. Brightness and contrast is how you adjust the screen brightness and contrast, just like it says. If you're in an area where maybe there's a window there and it's putting too much of a glare, you can go in there and adjust what's on there. The other thing is the text size. I believe we have all these phones in here set for large font, but if you hit text size, you can drop it down to small and close out of that. The difference between the small and the large is look at your screen now. See the button that had department voicemail? Doesn't it show a number there with it now, besides just department voicemail? What's going to happen is when you program speed dials, if it's in large font, you just see the name that you associated with it. If you have it in a small font, it shows the name and the number. That's really the only reason you would want it in small, is because you want to see the number associated with it. Most people prefer the large font. So to put it back, go back in, hit your blue key, hit settings, text size, large, and save, and then close out. So, okay, any questions on the phone before we go to voicemail? Any questions? Any questions? Okay. All right, we've got about 10 minutes for voicemail. Okay, voicemail. I told you need to set that up when you go back. You're going to hit that envelope key to do it. And it's going to ask you for your passcode. Everyone's default passcode is 1111. And remember, when you change it, if you are a person that's a hot desk person, whatever you change it to will be your hot desk pin also. So once you set up that voicemail, it's going to ask, it's the same type of voicemail you have now. So it just has some new features. Couple things, a lot of people didn't know some of the quick features that the system has. Do any of you use any of those, skipping a message, fast forwarding, rewinding, any of that stuff? Good, yeah, I like you. You're good, you're user friendly. If you didn't know, the things you can do with the voicemail that she's never going to prompt you that they're there is, say you're listening to a message someone's left you and they said a phone number and they said it really fast, and you want to rewind it so that you can hear that number again, you're going to press the star key. It's going to rewind it 5 seconds. You can keep doing that as many times as you need to. You want to fast forward it 5 seconds because maybe they're just repeating themselves a lot, hit the pound key and it fast forwards at 5 seconds. If you, I've had this happen actually quite a bit where I'll start listening to a message and I realize it's not going to be a quick message. Somebody's actually giving me detailed information. I need a pen and some paper. You can pause it. You press the 1 key and that pauses it and stops it from playing, gives you like 20 seconds to get what you got to get. And if you're ready before the 20 seconds is up, just press the 1 key and it starts back up again. So if you want to skip the message, start listening to the message and you're like, I don't have time to listen to this whole thing, but you don't want to delete it, you just want to skip it, press the 8 key. Skips to the end of the message. Now, if you are, no, it's not on there because these are things that the system assumes you know. Now, if you call somebody, I know, you got to be a bright person to know all this stuff. I just read the manual, that's how I figured it out. If you're calling somebody and it's someone internally and their greeting kicks in, well, usually, I know if you're here or not, so I don't want to listen to your whole greeting again. Maybe I call you all the time. You want to skip the greeting, press the 1 key. And it takes you right to record mode. So make sure you don't have food in your mouth because as soon as you press that 1 key, it goes boop and it's ready for you to start recording. So couple other new things that they added, which are really nice, is you call me, my phone goes into my voicemail, you leave me a message. When I come back to my desk and I'm listening to the message, I have a couple things I can do. At the end of your message, if I press the 2 key to answer the person back, it gives you 3 choices. You can press 2 and it's going to give you an option to leave me a return voicemail where you're not actually having to talk to me. You can just leave me a return voicemail and you don't have to dial my number or anything. The second option it gives you is it will dial the number for you and delete the message you just listened to. Or the third option is it will dial the number and save the message you just listened to. Now, it only does this for internal callers. It's not going to dial an outside number for you. Maybe they'll do that down the road, but it's strictly for inside callers. But this is really nice because you don't have to then hang up, call the person's number. You can actually just voicemail them right back. And then their light starts blinking on their phone and boom, because sometimes you get a voice message for somebody, you don't really want to talk to them right then because you know it's going to be too time consuming. You just want to give them the answer and move on. So this is a very nice feature, but you only get these prompts if once you listen to the message you press the 2 key. That's what triggers it to give you the prompts. The other things that are on the cheat sheet that some of you do have that I don't know if you currently use or not, over here on the left hand side, well actually it's your right I think, is special addressing options. These you only get if you leave the message for the person through your own voice mailbox. Meaning you didn't call my phone and let my phone ring and pick it up. You knew I wasn't at my desk today, maybe I'm off today. So you just go into your voicemail and you press the M key to make a message and it says enter the mailbox. That's my 4-digit extension. You put that in and you can just leave me a message. Well, after you leave me the message, maybe you want to use one of these special addressing options. Maybe you want to mark it return receipt because you want to know when I listen to it. Then what you do is after you after you record your message, you press the 6 key and it gives you the message options. The options that are out there are future delivery, which is great. I love that. You can go in and mark something future delivery and they don't get it until whatever date and time you put for them to get it. So you're trying to get out of the office, you're going on vacation. Instead of running around trying to fill everybody in, just sit at your phone, leave some voice messages, mark them for future delivery, and they'll get them on the days you want them to get them. Return receipt, yeah, I love that. I use that all the time, the future delivery, yeah. It gets you out of the office quicker and you're actually productive your last day there. Instead of going around trying to fill everybody in, you actually can just do it on the phone in about 15, 20 minutes. And then you can go back to doing your regular stuff. So, and it will do way far into the future. I mean, I was told them earlier yesterday, we have a gentleman at the office that puts a reminder of his anniversary. And it goes out there and reminds him about 2 weeks before his anniversary, and it's him saying make the hotel reservations and the dinner reservations. And he's done it for years. So, because he says he would forget, and he said it's saved his marriage. So his wife thinks he's a romantic. So the return receipt, it will actually put a little message for you in your mailbox if you mark it return receipt. When I listen to it, it doesn't turn your light on, but when you go into your message box, if you say want to check it in an hour, you go in, it'll say for your receipts, press the R key, and then it'll tell you the date and time that I listened to the message. If you mark it urgent, then it could be 15 messages in my mailbox, which you hear them how they went in. Oldest in is the first out. But if you mark it urgent, it goes to the top of the stack, and it will say, Tina Maxim left you an urgent message. So, and only inside people can do this. Yeah, you have to do this, remember, through your mailbox, not by calling.
Student and say that they listened to my message.
No. Yeah, you can't call like to their home or anything like that. It has to be through your mailbox. The one I would tell you to just delete is the confidential, because confidential to the voicemail means it can't be passed to someone else. Like if you get a voicemail in your mailbox and it's really not something you need, you should pass it over to someone else. You can give it to them. If it's marked confidential, it can't be passed to anyone else. But most people, confidential means you don't want someone else to hear it. Every phone here is a speaker phone. So if I want somebody to hear it, I just can play it on speaker. So really, I would say don't leave anything of a confidential nature in voicemail that you don't want somebody else to hear. Now, do any of you check your messages from off-site? Okay, if you need to do that, the number that they're going to have for you is 245 3786 is going to be the number you can call in. And once you get into that, it's like a main greeting for the voicemail. You'll put in your mailbox with a star at the end of it. The other way you can check your messages is you can just call directly into your DID number, and when you hear your greeting kick in, you don't have to listen to the whole thing. As soon as you hear your voice, press the star key, and the system's going to prompt you to do mailbox and passcode. So.
Is it 2453786?
Yes. Yeah. I think that is, yes. Yeah. So that's what it currently is now. So, yeah. Yeah, I was gonna. Their DID, yeah.
As soon as they hear themselves talking, they get started.
Yeah, and like when you were saying, if you put your phone in Do Not Disturb, if you're a person that you do check your messages sometimes from home, then put your phone in Do Not Disturb at night if you're going to check your messages, because instead of waiting for it to ring 4 times, it's going to go right to voicemail. So you could hit the star key and boom, you're right in your mailbox. Just cuts down on time.
Can you change your voicemail from offsite?
You sure can. Once you get in that box, you can do anything from off-site that you can do while you're sitting here. Now, I do need to tell you something too. This is not voicemail related. Emergency. If you have to dial an emergency, something's going on, you can get out by 911, 7911, or 9911. So even in a panic mode, you should be able to get emergency if you need to. So let me see on the voicemail. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that you guys might need that you don't already do. I already talked to you about the voicemail boxes, which you're going to set up when you go back, right? Can't think of anything. Can you guys think of anything maybe you do with your current voicemail that I didn't cover or anything like that? Question you have on it? Oh, we don't have much time for it, but there is a software application called UCA, which will be pushed out by Patrick for everyone. It's going to be going onto your computers, and that will be, once you get into UCA and you get that set up, if you're going to be a user of it, you will actually be able to listen to your voicemails there also. It'll be a little bubble for you that you could click, and it's going to actually show you the number of who called you, and if you click that you want to listen to it, it'll play the voicemail for you. So, and it has a call history button where you can see it doesn't delete call history. It has days and days of call history on there. So I don't know how quickly, how quickly is that UCA going out?
Pushed it out already, but having some issues, so he's working on it.
Okay, all right.
It is on your computer if it was plugged up, to the network, so he can get there.
Well, it's not a Mac, so.
You guys have to use the web portal, but it is there.
And with if you are a person that is using Google for your mail, then you're going to be using a web portal for that also. So with your voicemails that you get, they're going to also drop into email, and you can, listen to them there. It's not going to be a text message. It's still, a recording, but if you needed to keep a copy of it or something, you have it there. But you can check the voicemail on the phone. You can check it on your email, either way. And then, like I said, if you start using the UCA, you actually will have it there too. So you're going to have a lot of ways to stay, plugged into everything that's going on. The UCA also has, it's going to have the contacts for everybody here, like the phone book. It's going to have the contacts there where you can see. So if I'm on my phone, there'll be a little phone there for me. If I'm on it, it'll be red. The handset will be lifted. You can do instant chats with people. If they're logged into UCA, if you don't log into it, it's not a useful tool. If you're logged in, if you're available to chat, there'll be a little green blob up there, and I can right-click on you, and I can click on chat, and I can send you a little note, and a little bubble pops up on your screen, and you can chat back with me. It's got the ability for you to dial straight from there. It'll dial for you. You can go in and change, if you're a person that is using the twinning, you can go in and change your status from in the office to not in the office. I would tell you the main thing to do when you get it, there's a help manual on there. I know it's much easier to just call somebody and say, how do I use this? But there is a help manual on there. And when you get in there, you'll see your name at the top. Click on that, and it has a drop-down box, and towards the bottom you're going to see the words help. If you click on that, it's a manual that all you've got to do is It's a little bar where you can type in anything, like voicemail, or there you'll see something that says Launchpad, and it takes you right to the page. You can click on that, click on it, and it walks you through anything you might want to do with it. So if you have questions like when you first get it, there are people that have actually seen it used, been through the training on it. So if you wanted to find out a little bit more on things, but it's going to have icons on there. And if you're not sure about what those are, look them up in the help manual. You're going to learn it a lot quicker if you take just a few minutes and familiarize yourself with that, just some of the basic things. You might find that you don't use it a whole lot. It's strictly up to you. But I would tell you, if you have it, you should at least log in, because that helps other people on campus be able to see that you're here today and you are available if they need to talk to you. So, any questions on anything? We're good? I know I covered a lot of stuff. When we cut Monday, if you need help, they're going to send out an email to let you know who to contact. So, well, then you guys are done. You're welcome. Y'all have a good day.